Welcome, this is your Option Monster Volatility Sonar Report. From the floor of the SIBO, I'm Jamie Tyrrell with Group 1 Trading. Well, yesterday was just a terrible day for the S&P 500. We were down 30 points. A poor jobless claims number came out. Really a big down day for the market. Today we've been more mixed. We were down before the open as people were processing Walmart's poor earnings and reduced outlook, but we've gotten a little rally back. People are starting to look at Sears earnings, seeing that Sears really had a pretty solid quarter, and people are balancing the two against each other, and we're about even today on the S&P 500. In the VIX, yesterday at the end of the day, we had a big order to counteract what we had been seeing in February. A couple days ago, we had a big buyer of the February 55 calls. They bought 20,000, they bought them for 105, and that has performed very well as the VIX levels in January, February, March have risen from the high 30s to the mid 40s. That call that they bought for $1.05 has gone from $1.05 to right now it's trading about $2. And what we had in the VIX in the last few days was just really buyers of everything. Buyers of calls, buyers of puts, mostly buyers of calls. And the sellers we were seeing, the people who were filling these orders, were smaller sellers. They were market makers, they were small upside players, and so they were getting to the point where they couldn't take down much more. If you sell something at $1.05 and then you sell it at $1.20 and you're a small player, eventually you're kind of capped out and you're waiting for some big order provider to come in and smack back down volatility. We saw that smackdown in February yesterday afternoon, right about the close. We had a big broker here in the VIX pit quote the February 65-30 strangle. So a very far out of the money call just below the 55 call and a very far out of the money put, the 30 put. They sold that for $1.30. So they were selling 80-cent level on the call, 50-cent level on the put. And this was a chance for a lot of the small players who'd been selling a lot to buy back something. They weren't getting the 55 backs, but they were getting back something in February that would get them a little bit of the vega or volatility that they sold back, a little bit of the upside risk that they sold back, and so the crowd was very eager to buy it. It traded about 8,000 times, and almost all of it was done in the crowd. Now today we're seeing another upside buyer, much like that Feb 55 buyer, but this one's in March. They're not trading as big, but they're making a similar bet on a further out of the money call. They're buying the March 70 calls. Now the March future is about 41 right now. So March 70 call is $29 out of the money. They're buying that call. They started buying it for 95 cents this morning. They've paid up to $1.10, and right now it's actually come in a little bit. It's offered at $1.05. So they bought 4,000 of those, 95 cents to $1.10. And they're making a bet they're gonna hold for a while about March volatility, and they're taking a shot that perhaps we can cross the 70 threshold again that we crossed back in October. That's what's going on here. Check back for more. Jamie Tyrrell, Option Monster.
Any of you boys seen an aircraft carrier around here?